Alright guys, now we're going to work on cards. This starts on page 580 of your textbook. This is going to be a birthday card to be more specific. So you've already started Publisher. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and do so. Remember, you can pause these videos at any time to complete some of the work. So on here, we'll look for our templates, our greeting card templates. And I know you guys have looked at these before when we were first going through the chapter. And you can see all the different classic designs, as they call them, different themes, announcements, anything you might need. And as you scroll through, you can see how they already have those templates set up for you. This is the great thing about Publisher. You don't have to think too much sometimes. You need just a Mother's Day card. You can see they already have everything set for you. You know, whatever the case is, it's an easy make for you. Anymore, a lot of people are starting to make their own cards because they have a more of a personal touch instead of going to the store and buying them. There are some people who will make them on the computer. There was an older lady that I knew who always made them on the computer. And then you have those people who have gone to making everything by hand using stamps, maybe just a computer to type up the words that they want in there and going on. The lady that used to make them all the time on the computer is now making everything by hand. She actually stitches different kind of metallic colored threads into her cards, or she folds paper just right. It's not quite origami, but she folds it so it gives it a really neat effect. And her reasoning behind it was there's more of a personal touch. She had more free time since she had retired to do things like that than just going to the computer and getting one done. So on here, we're going to use blank sizes, and you can see up here at the top that they have all the different templates for you sorted by design. So it's a quick way to get to what you want. So if you want Get Well, you just click on it, it plops you right down there. Our case, we're going to use blank sizes. What we're going to use is a side fold card, so you'll have to scroll until you find it, just like with the other stuff that we did in Publisher. You just have to make sure you find the correct ones. So here's a side fold, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. That's what we're going to use. We're going to change our color scheme, to Prairie. And we're going to change our font scheme to Metro. Once again, if you so choose, you can use something different. It does not matter much to me. From there, we'll just go ahead and tell it create. So here is where it inserts pages, and it's asking us, do you want it to insert these pages? And in this case, and this goes with everything for Publisher, when it prints information, it prefers 4 pages of information. It will still work without 4 pages total, but for computer's sake, it does make it a little bit easier. In this case, we need to have our other 3 pages, so we're going to tell it, yes, go ahead and insert those. Down here at the bottom, you can see your different pages. You can see we're on page 1 because it's highlighted and it's also in bold. If you would switch to page 3, because this is a 2-page spread, so the pages are right next to each other, left and right. Just like when you look at your textbook, 580 is right next to 581. It's considered a spread, so that's why it pulls up those. You can see it's highlighted down here, and the numbers are in bold. Click on page 4, takes you right there, same thing. Highlights it, puts the 4 in bold. So make sure you go back to page 1 if you are not there. We are going to add some objects from our design gallery. So make sure you use your objects toolbar over here on the left hand side. Click on it, and we want an accent box. That is our first option up here, and they're already pulled up for us. we want to use our layered box design, which is right here. So go ahead and click on it once and do insert object or double click on it, whatever case you prefer. You can see it automatically puts it in for us. It's no big deal. It's in a good enough spot. Now we're going to create a text box. Remember, you can go over here to the left or insert text box. So below our object, we're going to click and drag, and we're going to leave it so looks like there's going to be about an inch of space down at the bottom. I know screen wise that's not quite an inch, but eyeballing it, it is. You look over here, it's at 4.5, and it goes down to about right here, so it's actually probably closer to 1/2 inch. Just eyeball it. It's no big deal either way. What we're going to do is type in happy birthday and pick somebody's name, or you can use your own. We're going to format this so you can highlight it. What I ended up doing to highlight, I just held down my shift key, used my up arrow, and also my left arrow. We want this as 24 point, bold, remember Control B, and centered, Control E. It is formatted in there for us now. So we're going to switch to page 3. So go ahead and click on it. We're going to create a text box that fits from the left to the right. And because of where we have our screen, we can go ahead and zoom in. You can tell it does not zoom in a whole lot when you press your F9 key. However, you can go up here to view, zoom, and then you can go ahead zoom into whatever you need. And you can use your scroll bars to get to whatever page you need on there. So we're going to use our text box. And anywhere on here, you're just going to draw a text box from the left to right. If it's not quite centered, it's no big deal. So we're going to type in have a wonderful year from all of us at Gadgets Inc. And we're going to format this also 14 point italic centered. Control I, Control E will get you italics and centers. So we want to make sure it's not selected anymore. Click anywhere. There you go, you're set. Now we're going to use some ruler guides. We had played with these before. So up here on the top, you're going to click, drag down until it lines up with the 2. And you can see as you drag over on the left hand side, the little black line that moves. Once you get onto the 2, it changes to white. And it'll be fairly close. If it did not work for you, or you need to try again, you can go up to Edit, Undo Add Guide, and it'll get rid of it for you. So click and drag it down so it's on the 2-inch mark. Now we want to have our text box so the top is right up against this ruler guide. So if you click in there, it will put the handles around your box, and it has your insertion point blinking. What I always suggest to do, click in that first, then put your cursor onto one of the lines so you have your double-headed arrow, then click and drag it to whatever you need. If you're fairly close, if you're only off by about that much, you can go ahead and use your arrow keys again. Just make sure you click on one of the lines and then press down or up, whatever the case is, until you're right along those areas. On here, we're going to go ahead and save this then. So File, Save As, and we're going to save it as Gadgets Birthday. Make sure you save it into your folder in the documents. Now when we go to print this, we'll pull up a print preview so you can see this. You can see how it's upside down up here at the top, because when we fold this, we will fold it in half right along here so the top and the bottom meet, and this part would be on top, and then we're going to fold it again so the left and right sides meet, and then the happy birthday is going to be on top. The have a wonderful year is going to be on the inside then. If you need to print one to see what it looks like and how you fold it, you're more than welcome to do so, but know that you do not have to do that. We're also going to create an invitation, so you can restart Publisher if you close out of it completely, or just go up to File, New. On there, we're going to go back to our our greeting cards, and somewhere on there you should have invitation, and I am not seeing it on mine at the moment. So if you can't see it on there, look over here to the left and you can see the list right here. So invitation card, we clicked on it. Here you have the different types. We're going to use a birthday party one, and you can see all the different templates. So we're going to scroll through and find birthday party 7. In this case, we don't have to scroll very far at all. So go ahead and click on it. You can see the preview over here on the right. We are going to change our color scheme to Tide Pool. And we're going to change our font scheme back to casual, just like what we have used in previous exercises. Then we are going to go down here to our options. We want to make sure that it is on quarter page side fold. And you can see that there's different options, the top fold and the half page side. But we want our quarter page side. After that, we're going to leave our frames on there. So you can go through and look, there's different options for you. But we're going to use what is selected for us already. And then go ahead and tell it create. It'll automatically create all 4 pages for us, and you can see that down here on the bottom left. So here we can zoom in, and remember, you can go to view, zoom right here, or you can press F9. One thing that we did not go over is your zoom in and zoom out buttons right up here at the top, and you can click on it and you can see it moves it in for you also. So we want to look at page 3. Go ahead and click on it. Here we need to have some information. So type in the information that you see on page 583. Make sure where it says name, you put in your own name. Make sure you also pause the video to do so. Alright, after you have everything typed in, make sure you put it through spell check if you haven't. If you went through and you double clicked on some of the items like the date and stuff, more than likely it highlighted everything for you. That's a feature of Publisher. After you get information in there, usually if you just double click, it'll be on one specific spot. When you typed things in, you can see with the contact phone number that they use dashes clear throughout. There's 3 different options that you can do in the business world for phone numbers. The one that you typed in is one of them. You also have your parentheses around your area code, just like what you see here. Or if it is more of a formal item, and this is becoming more and more popular, you use periods. So if you ever see something that I type up with periods in with your phone number, just know that is something that is more popular with businesses now, especially because it's a quick, easy view and it separates the stuff out. Yes, your dashes do too, but your brain does not process it as quickly as the periods do. So on here, you can zoom back out using your buttons up here